Word must have gotten out about you, Doc. We now have 4 animals waiting for you to look at them.
Malachi has an exceptionally swollen nose. Whatever the problem, you've shown you can handle iguanas.
Yeah, but the doc hasn't worked with a chinchilla. Fifi looks so thin. And what about the cockatoo? Casanova won't keep any food down and won't perch.
Now that you mention it, I am worried about the dog Toby. He seems tired and is having trouble breathing.
You worry too much. We've got the doc on the case.
I worry too much? It's clearly time to get to work. Don't you agree, Doctor?
Aww, the poor thing is underweight. Another clue. Houston, I think we have a problem. Whew, I'm glad that part is over. That's some good news. Hey, Doc, I see a ton of meds. Can you tell me which one to administer? These fluids will help bounce you back. What does that tell you? You have such a steady hand, Doc. This'll get you back on track. Some college kids found Fifi in a rabbit cage lined with pine shavings when they moved into their apartment. Weird, huh? The temperature in the apartment was also quite warm, probably too warm for a chinchilla. Well, the students also brought the food she was getting, so it appears she's been eating hay, pellets, and a whole lot of alfalfa. Since coming to the rescue 2 days ago, she hasn't eaten anything. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's why she's so thin and sluggish.
Chinchillas like Fifi need to be fed an appropriate diet and kept in a proper environment. Fifi's poor care and diet led to her diarrhea and tooth problems. If you hadn't administered medicine and corrected her diet, Fifi would have died of malnutrition. Luckily, she was brought to the rescue in time. We'll need to make sure her next owners know how to properly take care of her. I can't fault your diagnosis. Good job! I'm pleased. You knew to ask all the right questions. I'm very impressed by your treatment. I couldn't have done better myself.
Have you seen Lavender? She suddenly can't move her limbs. We should take a look at her ASAP. She looks pretty healthy. Is that high or low? I agree with you wholeheartedly. I have a strong pulse reading here. Could you tell me what this means? Your mastery of this case is inspiring. What does it all mean? Sorry, but this has to be done. Not good. That's good news. What is that? Could that be the cause of the problem? No, she doesn't cry out in pain when picked up or pet. Almost no history, as she was found in the fields along a bike path. She has been spayed, though, so she must have had an owner. None that I know of. An officer found Lavender sunning herself in a bike path. Pretty as you please.
Lavender probably picked up this tick while spending time in the tall grass. Tick paralysis happens because the tick injects neurotoxins in its saliva, which stops regular muscle and nerve communication. Since you remove the tick, Lavender should be able to stand and walk within 24 to 72 hours. Even so, we'll need to monitor her for any signs of shifting leg lameness, spontaneous bleeding, lethargy, and abnormal neurological symptoms, since ticks can carry diseases that cause them. Your diagnosis matches mine. All your questions really hit the mark. You did an excellent job looking after that animal.
So far, so good. Do you see that? Which medication did you want me to give again? That'll stop infection. Ouch, that looks painful. This is really bad news. Sleepy time. So far, so good. It's so sad that this was easily preventable. What does that tell you? That's some expert sewing, Doc. Oh, look how cute. This'll get you back on track. Okay, I've got a bunch of medications to choose from. Which should I give? It may not taste great, but it's just what you need. A wire mesh cage with nowhere to climb and nowhere to hide. Not directly. His previous owner had too many animals to deal with, but Malachi still had his own cage. He's got cuts on his nose and a swollen toe.
With nothing to climb, Malachi cut himself on his wire mesh cage. Without your intervention, the infection in his wounds would have spread and become potentially life-threatening. The antibiotics will cure the infection on his nose. Unfortunately, there was no choice but to amputate his toe because the bone was infected. However, afterwards, Malachi should be able to make a complete recovery and live a healthy and productive life. Your diagnosis makes sense to me. I'm pleased. You knew to ask all the right questions. You did an excellent job looking after that animal.
It's so sad. Just look at him. That doesn't look good. Is that high or low? That's close to normal at least. Not good. All clear. I knew it. That makes sense given the symptoms. Nothing we can't handle together, right, Doctor? I bet you're glad that's done. I love seeing a good doctor at work. This'll help you to get back to your old self. As soon as Casanova arrived, we noticed that he seemed weak and depressed. He also vomits after eating. Yes, sometimes his stools contain whole seeds. He's trying to eat, but doesn't succeed in keeping anything down.
Casanova was unable to keep down his food because his crop was impacted. A cockatoo's crop is a muscular pouch near the throat area used for food storage. If it gets impacted, a bird's crop could be permanently damaged. Because you cleared out his crop, Casanova's crop will be able to function normally again. The oral medications you gave him should jumpstart the crop function and also clear up his yeast infection. Thanks to you, Casanova should return to his normal self soon. Your diagnosis matches mine. I'm pleased. You knew to ask all the right questions. Your treatment of this case was perfect.
Nope. This is Toby's first visit to the vet. Good question. He's been coughing and having diarrhea. Unfortunately, he coughed up a long, thin worm today. It looked like spaghetti. Toby was kept in an unsanitary puppy mill. He was around a large number of dogs. Some of them were really sick. That's not a good sign. What do you think it is, Doc? What's that reading mean? That sounds like bad news. Houston, I think we have a problem. You know just what to do. Amazing. It never hurts to be thorough. Another clue! Sure, I'll administer the meds. Which one should I give? Say goodnight, parasites! That'll stop infection. I'm on it, Doc.
Puppies like Toby need to be brought to the vet as soon as possible. Many puppies are born with roundworms that they get from their mother. If Toby's previous owner had brought Toby to a vet for vaccinations and deworming, Toby's illness could have been prevented. Toby contracted pneumonia after being weakened by the roundworms. The oxygen, medications, and dewormers you gave him should allow Toby to recover fully. I agree with your diagnosis. You clearly understood this case. You asked all the right questions. Good job! Your treatment of this case was wonderful.
Definitely. She is able to stand and walk normally. No, she seems perfectly fine. No, I can safely say there's been no sign of bleeding. She looks pretty healthy. I'm glad you're taking such good care of this patient. What does this reading tell you, Doctor? Your mastery of this case is inspiring.
Once you removed the tick, Lavender recovered quickly. Fortunately, the tick did not cause further problems or transmit any diseases to Lavender. Now she's ready for a clean bill of health and can join the other animals. I agree with your diagnosis. Your diagnosis is spot on. All your questions really hit the mark. Your treatment of this case was perfect.
I love how you lavish attention on the pets. She loves playing with you. You're so great with the animals. They look really happy. I can tell you're both having fun. The animals love playing with you. It's important to have friendly and socialized animals. That's one friendly pet. She's really responding to socialization. I love how you lavish attention on the pets. The animals love playing with you. Playtime is my favorite time of the day. I love how you lavish attention on the pets. Wow, I can see the improvement. She's getting better. That shows progress. You're one great trainer. Looks like progress to me. That's a step in the right direction. That shows progress. That's a step in the right direction. Wow, I can see the improvement. What a great move. I love my job, even with the smell of wet fur. Perfect! You really know how to groom an animal. Good job! You really know how to care for animals. Wow, what a great job you did. That fur looks fabulous. I bet she feels all better now that you finished grooming her. I think that animal's had enough grooming for now. That's about as spiffy as one can get. How about moving on to the next one? Grooming takes attention. Be sure to brush through those snags. Don't they look great when they're properly groomed? Wow, what a great job you did! That fur looks fabulous. Perfect! You really know how to groom an animal.
You're doing so well treating the animals that they're being adopted left and right. Now we can rescue more animals, thanks to you. With all your hard work, you deserve a promotion. I just need to ask you a few questions, but don't worry, I'm sure you'll do great. I can't say I'm surprised after all the good work you've been doing. You did a great job on my quiz. You've also really got a handle on those rare pets. It's about time I promoted you to exotic specialist. Wonderful work.